All right, welcome everyone. Today we have Kim Shotola on for our Awaken Your Light interview. It's sponsored by my Awaken Your Light Academy. So my name is Linda Galvan for all of you who may not know me. And if it's your first time on Zoom, just make sure that you click the little mute button so that we don't hear all the sounds in your background during this actual interview. So anyway, I met Kim, oh my God, how many years ago? At least 6
Gosh, I don't know, 10 or so, maybe. A long time.
Yes, because you were an initial early client of mine way back then.
Way back.
Working as a spiritual intuitive, and I still do that type of work, but I've actually advanced into doing more soul guidance work with women and helping women to realign to their truth and to awaken to their gifts. So I do a lot of mentorship programs for women. I help women to transition out of something such as a relationship or marriage or a job into something that's more aligned for them. And I'm very spiritually based in that respect. I work a lot with divine channeling of spirit and light. And I know that you also are a type of an intuitive and channel with animals as well. So it's great to have you on. And I'm so excited that a beautiful book has just been published.
I know, it got out a little sooner than I thought. Yay!
So I'm excited to announce that to everyone so that they can check it out. And so I think what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to make sure everybody is muted so that we can start the interview. All right. So why don't we begin, Kim, by you sharing a little bit more about who you are, a little bit about what is the Lightfoot Way.
Okay, sure.
Well, inspired you.
I started in getting into holistic animal care for my horse, who she was lame at a young age. And so that kind of started my journey. And then I just kept learning, oh my goodness, from wanting to learn to talk to animals to crystal therapy and color therapy and the Bach flower essences and just every little thing. I kind of say like Reese's peanut butter cups or maybe cheese puffs for me. And that, you get into it and then you just can't stop. And that's been that way for a lot of our students. But I started teaching about 13 years ago, doing consultations, and then I worked at the Houston Zoo for over 25 years.
Wow.
And I brought holistic animal care to the zoo. And I had my vets coming out doing acupuncture and chiropractic, and I was teaching staff how to do massage therapy and different things like that. So it was a beautiful experience, and to see so many different kinds of animals, from honestly like Komodo dragons to domestic animals, goats, even there were coatis, and I mean there were just all kinds of different animals of the spectrum, including birds, even a sea turtle. So you just never knew what could benefit from that type of care.
Yes.
So, yeah, that was so kind of how I got into things.
Right?
Yeah, it's just wonderful. And I even love I didn't do a whole lot of work other than energy work on the bugs. Sometimes the bugs, would get in charge of the bug house. So the bugs would sometimes they would get sick. And so I would try and do energy work on them. And I did communicate with them too, and it was really cool. But anyway, so yeah, that's kind of how I got into my journey. And I was in Houston for my whole life. And then I just moved about 2.5 years ago to living in Montana so I could be near Yellowstone and I could teach and just be surrounded by this absolute beauty just of the land and of nature.
Yes, lucky you. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You get that energy today.
Yeah, it's all around me with all snow-covered mountains and everything.
So, for some people, this may be the first time that we've ever heard that you can actually communicate with animals, or you can communicate with even insects. I actually did a practice one time years ago where I was trained to connect and surrogate with anything that had an egg.
Oh,
And so I worked with the bees to help with their
oh, wonderful.
years ago, and it was profound. It was one of probably the most profound experiences I've ever experienced, connecting with bees and feeling their consciousness and how beautiful and wise and strong they are. I was just floored.
Oh, that's awesome.
Really humbled. They're a powerful collective.
They really are. And up here, there's actually quite a few beekeepers.
Oh, really?
Driving down the road, you'll see, you know, beehives, and, you know, people got them on their property and things. So it's really neat.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
I have some friends that decided they're going to become beekeepers, and they do it in the backyard, and they, you know, I get free honey.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice.
Very healthy.
Yeah.
So tell us about how the Lightfoot way. How does that fit in with you working at the studio and what you're doing now? Like, tell me how that got born and what is it?
So the Lightfoot way, that was a name that came to me during a meditation, and where the Lightfoot name came forward, and I'm like, and I realized that was supposed to be my business name, but I got into doing my business like over 13 years ago, and originally that the name didn't come to me. Okay, it was like, yeah, my old website is like pethealthadvisor.com, you know, and it's still in existence, but I didn't have that name yet. And, you know, the holistic animal care, I just got to where I started actually teaching classes for at a holistic vets clinic, and that's where I got my start. And I started doing consultations there, and then it just kind of grown from there.
Yes.
Yeah, the Lightfoot, it's, you know, some think it's maybe Native American in origin, and that's what it is to me. And some people say, oh, that's English or whatever, but it is Native American in origin. Yes. And it is also about treading lightly on Mother Earth and respecting Mother Earth, you know, and the land and everything. So it's a real special meaning for me.
Yes, it's beautiful. So how long have you had that company?
So that name has been, what was it, 2001, I think. So my business partner, Allison, is still in Houston.
Oh, okay.
And she came on about a year after I started teaching and everything. And then, and then we just hit it off. And I knew actually when I met her, but I waited for a year for her to say she wanted to join in. You know, but I intuitively knew that she was it. And I just waited patiently for a year. She's been with me for, I guess, 12 of these 13 years or so.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So did you ever encounter in the years that you've been working with animals, either at the Houston Zoo or through Lightfoot Way or through your teachings or just in general, people who kind of did the eyebrow about talking to animals, having intuitive connections to animals, and how did you deal with that?
You know, that's a really good question. Yet talking with animals, thank goodness over time more and more people have become accompanied to that, and you see even a lot of rescue groups and the fundraisers they're having, they put pet psychic, you know, to be there. And I mean, I see the Google alerts, and it is just becoming like almost, I don't want to say daily, but I get multiple ones every week, how that's grown. But as far as in the beginning, I guess I was pretty fortunate in that so many people were open to it. Now, of course, at the zoo, it was a thing, and I didn't go around touting myself as an animal communicator, but there were people who knew me and that I did that. So they, you know, would talk to me on their own. And whenever I did speak to zoo animals, which I did, especially for other sections in the zoo, you know, whether it was the big cats or whatever, I would do that normally from the comfort of my home, so it wouldn't interfere with zoo work. Exactly. But overall, though, I've been really blessed, I guess, with so many people being open to the concept, you know. It's been beautiful. And here, I found, even though the town I live in is small, only about 7,000 people or so, 7 or 9, something like that, I have found that you know, there's a lot of people that are very open to this and natural animal care.
Beautiful. Well, that's really wonderful to hear, because I have clients that I serve who are also quite
Yeah,
gifted in the field of connecting with animals and people. And so
great.
sometimes they are really nervous
Yes.
to let people know about their services, or they get a hit about a friend's animal and they're afraid to say something. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm usually in a place to let them know, you know what, you're here with a gift that is here to help serve,
Mm-hmm.
help. And I'm sure most owners of pets would want to know if their pet
Right.
had an important message for them, or something that was, you know, going to help that pet, especially if they have a health issue or something along those lines. So
Right.
I'm always trying to encourage them not to look at it as weird and that.
Exactly. You know, and I've like met, you know, meeting all kinds of new people here, and what I will do is, instead of me coming out and even saying, you know, woo-woo words, people sometimes can even be sensitive to the word holistic.
Exactly.
You can talk about, say, well-being or wellness, and instead of saying animal communication, you know, we talk about how someone can connect deeply with an animal. And it's just like you're really reaching out with your heart to their heart, or your mind to their mind, you know, that kind of thing. And when you kind of change the way you word things with people who maybe you could tell they're like, what on earth is she talking about? You know, but you can change the way you word things to make people really understand things on a more natural, simple level. That's not so scary and intimidating.
Yeah, so that's beautiful wisdom, Kim, because that's exactly what I tell my clients. You can
That's
always
awesome.
change the words
Yeah.
so that you don't create a wall between, you know, you and someone else. And that really is a way that you can just respect where someone else is. So let's get into this book that you just.
Okay.
So, Soul Watchers, what a beautiful title. So, I want you
Mhm.
to share with us more about, you know, where did this title come from? How did this whole concept of this book, how was it born?
Okay, great. So it started several years ago, and I guess it was it October 2016? I was with my horses, my senior horses, and I don't even know how the idea of a book, other than a book's been brewing for a long time in my mind, a dream. And my horses just came out, you know, and I heard them say, like, the Soul Watchers. I'm like, what? But then I knew there was more to it. And then I got like pieces about animals' quest to awaken humanity. And I don't remember how long it took for me to get that and make sure that part was clear. But basically the title came from them, and so that was really neat. And because they're like, golly, they're going to be 24 and 29. Yeah.
Oh
So
my
they're
gosh.
my sweet girls,
Aw.
are horses. And so then I'm trying to think, and I remember, and then my mother was so sweet, and then we went to Renaissance Festival in Texas,
Yeah.
the one in Houston area.
Yeah.
And so she bought me this sweet little journal. And
Beautiful.
the start of it, I mean, I fell in love with the wolf. And then I just started writing, journaling all these notes and thoughts and ideas, and just, yeah. And so that went on for a while. And then we moved here it was like July of 2017. Okay, so there was no time to really think about the book between them, you know, getting the house ready for sale and all that. And then we came here, and then again, busy. And so I really didn't start truly though writing, actually sitting down and writing the book until early this year.
Oh wow.
And yeah.
That was a quick write.
Yeah,
So
well, I
working
don't
on
know. I mean, it didn't seem like it, since it, you know, organizing my thoughts in a little notebook, you know, journal and that kind of thing. And it just, yeah. And so it's like, I've got my proof, and I was so excited. And I had a vision. I mean, it came to me about even like what the cover design should look like.
Yes.
And on the back, it's got, I mean, even I've got the horse in there, and it's got family, you know, like people looking out at just at the stars. And I loved the aurora borealis, and so anyway, all these ideas came to me, and then it became reality. I remember getting the cover from the guy who does the layout and the design, and it just brought tears to my eyes. It was just like, oh my God, this is really happening. So I didn't realize how much hard work writing a book really was. The easy part is actually, I say, writing the book, yeah. But the hard part is going through all of the editing and just checking things, and you realize, oh, I need a little something here and there, and it just, but it's been a beautiful experience. And actually, one of my wonderful professional students, now graduate, but at the time, I think she was speaking to maybe my guinea pig in spirit.
Oh my gosh.
And she got from him that I should start off with the book writing, I should do an outline. And that was such great advice, for me at the beginning of the year, because I'm like, I had all these thoughts. I'm like, what do I do with all this stuff in here and put it together? And I'm like, oh my God, why didn't I think of the outline myself? And I had to hear it from my guinea pig. But it made so much sense. And then it just started flowing. Everything started flowing from, okay, I was going to have all the in-spirit animals, they came forward, some of them are what students had gotten actually. And those became the quotes that are the beginning of the chapters. Yeah. And the layout just became it just flowed like, okay, well, who are the soul watchers? They're the animals and are present, the ones from the past, they're the wild animals, and the ones that we call animal essences or animal spirit guides. Some people call them totems. It's part of their, major totem kind of thing in their life. And all these animals are coming forward, and they're wanting people to know life lessons, and they're wanting to know how they're all working together and how you can know they're trying to get information to you, and how you can understand that and, decipher it, and how you can actually seek guidance from reaching out to them. So they wanted to pass along, so many beautiful things, and like we like to call the holistic animal care, Mother Earth's medicine chest. Yeah. So which the animals utilize on a regular basis. Right. They know all of this stuff from their ancient wisdom, and so they just want to bring all that forward, and it just, because everything just came together.
That's beautiful. So it's like the animals kind of helped guide you in
yes.
the book, and it's almost as if they asked you to be the author for them to share their wisdom. I mean, that's what it feels like. It's like I get this feeling as I'm tuning in right now.
Oh, that's so sweet. That kind of gives me goosebumps, Linda.
All around, they're like, yay, we got a book out in the world to connect with so many other, humans out there that need to know this information, or that have been, feeling that this might be a truth, but it hasn't been really validated. And so I feel that this book is going to really help to validate a lot of people's feelings.
Oh, thank you, Linda.
Animals.
That's beautiful.
Support us. And the one thing that really caught me about just the title was when the byline, Animals Quest, Humanity. I was just like, I'm all about humanity awakening. And it just never dawned on me. I don't know why, it just hadn't. But of course, animals are here to support us in that process. It's like, duh. And so I had to pause and go, wow, of course they're here to support us in that way. So I have a question for you.
Okay.
It's the story of Rain. Who is Rain? Because the minute I saw that picture, I literally began tearing up. My heart just expanded and filled the whole room. I was like, wow, who is this incredible soul called Rain?
Yes. So Rain was a wolf dog that Allison sent me an email one day about how this wolf dog was going to be euthanized if she couldn't find a home.
Wow.
And I knew she was meant to be with me.
Yeah.
And I had no idea. I mean, I built a special wolf dog enclosure that literally was built for a wolf because they can climb out so easily. They can dig. I mean, it was an expensive enclosure, but I knew I was supposed to have her. I even had a woman who worked with wolves and wolf dogs for like over 10 years come with me to go meet Rain, because I was in Houston and Rain was in Dallas. And the vet tech, she was being boarded at the veterinary clinic, and so we went to meet her, and I just knew, yes, I knew all along that we were meant to be together. And then actually I had to go back, get the pen built. So it was a few months to get this pen built. And she came home on Christmas Eve. And she's been gone now for, oh my goodness, Linda, I don't know how many years now. And I only had her for about 4 years. You could tell she had a rough life because like one of her back legs was broken. You could see how it bowed. I mean, the lower part, so she could walk all right, but you could tell she had been through some stuff. And she was part of a big rescue of like several hundred dogs. And when she actually came to the vet clinic, where this tech ended up taking her in, she was coming in because her tail needed to be amputated. It had been so damaged, it was necrotic. So she had a nub tail. You would never know. Rain had a nub tail. So, but anyway, and she was just such a spiritual partner for me. And she has given me so much knowledge, so much wisdom. And so I knew in my heart that whenever I did write this book, that she was going to write, she needed like her own little part in the beginning to speak to people, just the epilogue. And so that was Rain. And then later on, there's another quote from her for a chapter. I think it was, can't remember, maybe the medicine chest or whatever, but it came from a student about nurturing nature, and everyone needs to get back to nature.
Yes.
So she was just amazing. And she, still comes to me. I still talk to her, and she still guides me. And just like with any animal and spirit, we are always connected to them. They're always there for us. And they can guide us from beyond. A lot of people don't realize that.
Wow, I'm feeling
beautiful they can do that.
I'm feeling her presence very strongly right now.
Yeah.
I feel that she's here. I'm just feeling her heart.
Oh,
she's
I felt weird. Like I had to turn in my wedding ring to get repaired. So I had no rings on. But then I have a lot of rings, Linda. But I thought for this interview, I chose one ring.
Oh my gosh.
This is my ring that I had made with Rain's ashes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, if people can see that. Or, okay.
Yeah.
Can they see it? Can you see it?
Okay. It looks like a moonstone.
Yes. Yes. And but it's just and but yeah.
She's a very special soul. I can feel the magnitude of her heart energy. She's a very healing energy, and I feel that she's almost like I sense her as like a beautiful guardian for me in so many ways. Almost like a bit of a, you mentioned that some of these animals are like Yodas.
Yes.
Like Guru Rain is what I would call her.
Yeah. I know when I've had students have talked to her, and some of them have been brought to tears.
Oh, I feel it. I'm just like, I'm right on the edge. I'm like, Rain, don't make me cry now. No,
I know, don't make me cry either.
Afterwards, okay? She's really, oh my God, she's such a being of light, such a being of light. I can see feeling an energy like Rain, how powerful that can be for an actual owner to have an energy like that around them to assist in their own consciousness awakening and their own, awakening to higher awarenesses of their truth and their spirit.
Right. And one of the things, I'm glad you mentioned that, because I talk about in the book about usually people, if they're blessed, if they have one or two what we call heart animals or soul animals in their life.
Yes.
And that is the ones where you just feel like they are like no other animal you've ever had in your entire life.
Yes.
There's just this undeniable connection that just, you just can't explain it almost. It is so soulful.
Yes.
And just so spiritual. And when they're no longer physically in your life, it's just like you almost feel like a piece of your soul, you know, your heart is missing almost, even though they're there in spirit. But it just, you know, Rain was one of those. And then my other one is Tara, who's going to be 29, my horse that I've had since she was a yearling. So yeah, so those are my two heart and soul animals that I've been blessed to have in my life. Well, I take that back. And Diamond.
Mm-hmm.
And then I talk, you know, I do get into reincarnation a little bit in the book. And so actually Diamond did the prologue in the book.
Oh my gosh.
Diamond was my collie I got when I was like 10 years old. And so I have an old picture. So I can't believe, oh my God, this is like over 40 years old, of me and my brother when I got Diamond as a puppy. And, but anyway, so yeah. And so Diamond did the prologue, but Diamond, I believe, and Rain are the same animal.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, you know, the awareness that I'm having right now is that, you know, you said that there's some animals are like their soul and heart animals. It's like there's something about them that's so different from any other animal I've had. So for me, I am just wondering, I'm feeling that animals come at different levels of consciousness too. So the more advanced animals that have higher consciousness, these are probably the ones that have a bigger soul duty on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
You know, maybe
I totally agree. Yes.
That's what it feels like to me.
Right. Yeah. And that's a great way of looking at it. Those, you know, and I, when I talk to students about that, I say like, okay, well, you've got your younger souls and you've got your older souls. And often when someone connects to an animal for the very first time, like an animal they don't know, they can sense that there's something different. There's this wisdom about them. And I'm like, that's that old soul feeling where you can connect with others, you know, like, it's just that old soul feeling, that wisdom is lacking. It's more of a light or a fun energy, a simple energy kind of. So it's very interesting when people can realize that's the way the animals are. They all can bring knowledge, but you can tell the depth of a soul often by their connection with someone and how it makes you feel.
Exactly. Well, I love in the book where you said that animals have ancient wisdom, and then you used the word animal collective. And, you know, because I work with the human collective, and all
right.
There's an animal collective. So it just made me go, oh, and I just expanded even more.
Yeah.
I realized that there's so much ancient wisdom that's held in all forms of life.
Yes.
That includes animals, probably insects and plants. Even the
right.
I mean, there's so much conscious wisdom held in every sentient being, and even the things that are not sentient, really, they do have a consciousness too.
They do. I mean, they really do. Everything has a conscious. Yeah. I laughed my head off when and I were young.
Yeah. So do you connect individually with animals, and then you also can connect with the animal collective as a whole? Can you do, I mean, it feels like you could probably do both, depending on what you're doing or how you're serving.
I mean, you could, you know, I always feel that you are connected. You know, I mean, I always feel that that's always present. It's always there. Yeah. Now, to truly tune in to, let's say you had a whole bunch of animals around you, so to speak, or you're thinking of the collective out there in general, to tune into them might be to try and focus on individuals. That's very difficult, but there's no need to look at it like that. Yeah. Just there is a collective. It's there. It's present. Yeah. ready to offer input, because it's like if someone, let's say someone was drawn to tigers, they just love tigers, but they don't have a tiger in particular that they know of, but just drawn to tigers and they want to reach out to the tigers. Well, when they reach out to the tiger collective, a tiger representative will come forward to connect with them, to see the whole collective. So that's really beautiful. And I do talk about that in the book so that people can kind of understand that. Because some are just so drawn to a particular animals, like I am to, say, the wolves and the horses.
Yes.
Oh, but people can do that, and it's really amazing.
Well, yeah, because, there have been, when I do intuitive work with clients, sometimes they'll be in deep grief over the loss of a very dear pet of theirs. And so obviously I can, tune in, and sometimes I'll sense the soul of that pet, and it wants to have a conversation with the owner and say, I'm still here for you, and I love you, and I'm going to be with you even though I'm not in a physical body. And so that seems to bring a lot of peace.
Yes.
But at the same time, there's also that deep sense of loss of just the attachment of the physical aspect of animal that I feel, sometimes I've noticed clients have to just go through that process. So are there ways that you have helped clients when they've lost, a really, let's say, a soul heart pet? Like,
absolutely right. Yeah, I do touch on things in the book of how to help that. It's one of the stories we share. Yes. But absolutely, yes. So, the grief is so hard, and the person goes through it, and so can the fellow animals go through it. So sometimes a ceremony is something that can help everyone, and whatever that may be, and that can be different for everyone, whether it's, getting our engraved rock or planting a little garden, having a little bird bath. It could be something indoors you do with candles. It could be something outdoors. So that part doesn't really matter, whatever you're drawn to. And people have even brought their animals, and had the animals sit around during a ceremony for their, friend that has passed on. And, like for me, I have never had an animal cremated and with the ashes. And so that's why I ended up like getting the ring made, because I knew that she's always with me, Rain is, but then I can wear and even feel more connected. So, and there's so many different people doing things with glass and different things. So that's nice too. But something like a yellow, the color yellow is very powerful when it comes to grief. And like a beautiful sunshine or a sunflower, and it brings joy. So the person wearing yellow clothing or getting yellow sheets, blankets, to lay down for the animals to lay on or near when they want to get that energy that can uplift them. That can be really helpful. Even, so Ignatia is a homeopathic remedy that is known to help grief. And so that's helped a lot of people. We do the 30C potency. Okay. That's something that people could look into for both people and animals. It can work really great with the grief. And sometimes like custom bought flower essence blend. Sometimes Reiki remedy might help someone through it, but sometimes it doesn't have the right, it's made of 5 of the 38 flower essences, and it might not have really what's needed. So sometimes a particular custom blend can really pull someone out of an emotional, or a person or an animal out of an emotional state if they're just so grief stricken, and depressed. Exactly. So those are the top things that can really help. And then just doing basic energy work if people don't know how to do energy work, but it's in the book about how to do basic energy.
I know, I love it. There's
there's so many things to do. Even support groups, that's more popular now, having the support groups for the loss of an animal.
Yes, exactly. No, well, that's beautiful, because I know that sometimes people are so attached to the animal, even more so than maybe the humans in their life.
True. It's true. Some, yeah.
So much healing and so much unconditional love that the loss is usually, the gap is huge. And I noticed that. So this makes a lot of sense that these beautiful, animals, their beautiful souls are here to help us heal. I've seen that
Mhm.
happen. I mean, an animal comes into someone's life and all of a sudden, just some beautiful healing happening for that human. And I'm like, wow. And then there's another phenomena I've noticed. So I'm curious to ask you if this is true. I have noticed personally, and I've noticed with other clients, that sometimes an animal will take on a client's illness, mental illness, physical illness, um, and when I tune into the energy, I hear it. I'm like, I hear the animal saying, "I'm doing this. It's my soul purpose to take you on, so that my owner can continue their life, or so that their life won't be so hard." And I'm like, whoa! Like I know that my dear Sparkle, she was a tuxedo cat that died a couple of years ago. I feel that she stood in as a second daughter for me. I
Oh.
only have one physical human daughter, but I divorced when she was only like 2 years old. So she had to go with her dad, um, every other week. And so I really missed her. So I had this little kitty that I had given to her when she was 3. And that's kind of when the separation started. And so I would give my daughter to her dad, and then I would have my cat daughter. And so
Oh.
Sparkle was my cat daughter, so I felt like she really helped me through that grief. And then when she started, I started to notice health issues. I tuned in with her. I had several animal communicators talk to her, and she's like, "No, it's my sole purpose to take on these emotional issues and take them with me when I pass, so that I will not, so that my owner and of course my daughter will stay in health, and it will remove some emotional heaviness that we've been carrying for a while." And I was like, oh my gosh. And of course I was grateful, but at the same time grief. I was like, no, don't die. But she,
I know.
this is part of, if I don't, then a human's going to. And I'm like, oh,
Mhm.
okay. I mean, she made it very clear to me that
Mhm.
my daughter would get very ill if she wasn't allowed to follow through with her life purpose and take on whatever this heavy energy was she was carrying for us. And
Mhm.
I was just floored by that. So have you noticed that? Has that happened in stories with clients and with animals?
Yeah, absolutely. I touched on that in the book, and it's called mirroring. Where they will mirror a person, whether it's a emotional issue or a physical issue.
Yeah.
And we even had a vet where we asked him, "Have you noticed about your cancer, dogs and cats, the cancer cases? Have you noticed any connection between their owners and them having cancer?" And then he realized, when he thought about it,
Yeah.
there were many of them that had cancer too. And it was kind of like an eye-opening moment for him.
Right.
So more than likely the cancer was in the animal first, or it could have been come after, but they're trying so hard to take on that cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can come up with all kinds of health issues or behavioral issues,
Yeah.
because they are trying so much to help their person out. And while it is really difficult, that they are doing this, and we don't want them to take on that for us, like you said, if it's their sole purpose, that's what their mission's there to accomplish, they're going to stick with it,
Exactly.
because that's what they came here for. And the best thing that we can do is try to take care of ourselves the best we can, and to support them in their journey and taking care of us.
Yeah.
But doing this on a whole body, mind, and spirit level, the physical, mental, emotional, spiritual side of things, supporting each other that way,
Yeah.
and what they want to see happen. So it's beautiful and sad at the same time, but it's just one of the ways that animals show their endless love and dedication for us.
Exactly. And that's true unconditional love.
It really is.
Yeah, it is. It's just true unconditional love. And sometimes I feel Sparkle come to visit, and you know,
Isn't that wonderful?
yeah.
You know, some people aren't aware that their animals will come to visit, so they need to look for it. Did the ball move? Did a bowl move? You know, maybe they have their bed still there. Did the bed move? Or are there indentations on your bed? Do you feel something against you? And they're like, oh, there's nothing here. What is this? And some people see a glimpse of their animal kind of out of their eye, whether it's a shadow or more of a form, where they like, oh my gosh, that's my dog that passed on. You know, so there are so many ways that the animals in spirit can come to us. So many aren't aware to look for the signs.
Yes, exactly. So it's interesting. Just actually a couple of days ago, I and my daughter were visiting at a friend's house, and at the same time, we both saw this cat at the corner of our eye, and we were like, "Where'd the cat go?" And, you know, our friend was like, and I knew she had no cat, so I was like, "Okay, I saw that." And then my daughter goes, "Yeah, I saw that too." I said, "There's a cat here," and but I just in and found out that cat had belonged to a previous owner who owned the house and died there. And so his spirit is still there. And so he just wanted to let us know. So I thought that was really interesting to experience that. So
that is really neat. Yeah, I remember I was at a boarding facility visiting a friend, a student, and I saw an image of a dog. You know, I could see the dog spirit. And when I described it, it was a previous dog, you know, it was boarded there that had passed on, but I guess it still did.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, so I feel like they visit, they're here for us, even those really powerful, more advanced soul animals. I feel like people continue to serve us maybe as guardians sometimes. So I've also noticed that with my human clients, that sometimes I'll sense an animal in their energy field or several, and I'll say, I'm feeling a dog is here or a horse, or, you know, I'll feel
Well, that's neat.
and they'll tell me, oh yes, I had a really, you know, dear dog that passed when I was young, or, you know, a horse that meant a lot to me when I was little. And I said, well, they're still around you. They're kind of like your animal guardians now. So even if they're not in physical form guarding you, they're here for your spirit. So I feel that this just validates a lot of what I get sometimes when I'm talking with clients about, you know, a loss of an animal, things along those lines. So it really validates a lot for me, which I know is going to help a lot of people feel like, okay, I'm not crazy. It's for real.
Right. You're right. You're not crazy. You really aren't. And more people, thank goodness, are realizing the truth about things. And, you know, they're starting to say something to someone they didn't know they might have been able to say something. And it's very interesting. Yeah, things are very much evolving.
Exactly. So how can people get a hold of your book so they can read more about this wonderful information? So what's the best way for them to get a hold of the book?
The best way would be to go to thesoulwatchers.com.
So I'm going to write this down.
Okay. Yeah, thesoulwatchers.com. And that is where you can read more about what's in the book, and you can get a look inside. The table of contents is all on that page, and you can buy it gives you the link that goes to Amazon to purchase the paperback, and it gives you the link that goes to just my site to be able to purchase the PDF ebook.
Ah, perfect.
Yeah.
Well,
also, Linda, people get on there is the form that they can complete.
Okay.
Get the complimentary action guide that goes with the book, and audio meditation. It's about 11.5-minute audio meditation that was created with the aspects of the book in mind.
Oh, beautiful.
That's free. You know, anyone can fill out the form and get that. So.
Okay, wonderful. Well, we have a question here from Lily.
Okay.
The question is, in animal communication, can your pet come to you in the form of another animal? Whenever I tried talking to my cat, I would always see a tiger in my mind, And then just lounge with me. Was I connecting to my cat or a tiger? That's a great question.
That is a great question. I would bet that cat was a tiger, and that's why the tiger is coming through that way. But I think that was a past life of the cat.
Ah, interesting. Okay, hopefully that answers the question, Lulu, which brings me to a very crazy question. My daughter rescued a cat maybe 2 years ago, and we just lost Sparkle, and I wasn't quite ready for another cat, but she walks into the store and they had all these cats that needed rescuing. She just saw this cat and she's like, "Mom," and I just saw in her face, I was like, "This cat's gonna come." And so, I mean, it was a beautiful gray, smoky cat. And it was just sitting there lounging, all cool, like nothing's wrong. I mean, it was the coolest cat I've ever encountered or met. And so we bring this cat home, and we don't really know much about it other than that it had been a rescue kitten. The owners had had it for 2 years, and then they brought it back to the rescue home. And there was no reason why, they just returned it. And so there wasn't really much that we knew about the cat. And so we brought the cat home, and then this cat had a presence. I mean, there is no way you can miss it. The cat walks around like it owns the kingdom. And it was in a real, I feel like we were in this place where, okay, I'm an alpha, and it's like, no, I'm the alpha. I own this place. So for a while there, we were having to kind of work out, who's the boss of the house. And I noticed that there's an intensity around this cat that, it's going to sound crazy, but it's not human. It's not even regular animal. It feels very cosmic. So has anybody ever mentioned to you, like, I've got an alien cat or an alien something? Because this cat feels very, I don't know, it's crazy. It feels very alien to me.
Yeah, it doesn't happen that often, Linda. So I would consider that kind of rare. But there are some animals that feel otherworldly. Like they just, wow, there's something going on here that's beyond just a normal animal soul.
Yeah, exactly.
So I know what you're talking about. Yeah. I said it doesn't,
crazy.
Yeah, I don't know how many of them are out there like that, but yes, there are some where people have described that kind of to me.
Right.
So yeah.
It doesn't really act like a cat. It's really interesting. It doesn't really act like a cat. It's like highly intelligent, and we didn't train it. And it just has a very interesting energy to it, and also quite intuitive. And so she actually loves cats, so she connects actually a deeper level with cats than probably even I do.
Oh, wow.
She's like, "Mom," we call the cat Aster. Aster says that, he's not from here. And so the cat's actually female, like anatomically female.
Okay.
Masculine. Prefers male.
Yes.
And it's like, okay, so it was Aster, but we changed it to Aster because it's like the female name. It wanted a male name, even though it's in a female body. And so I was like, okay.
Yeah, it is interesting. Animals can have the opposite energy of what sex they are.
Ah, okay.
And the people who are sensitive, whether they're intuitive or they're just energetically sensitive, maybe they know energy work, Reiki or some form of energy. They're like, gosh, this just feels like this female cat's masculine, or so there are people who can pick up on that, and it's come through with different animals we've worked with.
Okay, so I'm not completely crazy. I don't go around.
No, not at all. It's one of those things out there that you not too many talk about. The sex thing or the soul and the body that just seems that it's, wow, where is it from? It's just very different.
It is.
And the main thing to know for people who might feel that is like, just consider yourself, I don't say blessed, and call upon that wisdom that's got to be there, right? This amazing wisdom that's got to be within that kind of animal that is like that.
Yes, exactly. So, okay, well, that's good, because I know that my daughter was getting some really interesting information from the cat.
Mm-hmm.
There's something very different about this cat, and when people meet the cat,
Yeah.
they're like, "Oh, it's beautiful," and they notice a masculine energy coming from the cat, even though
Mm-hmm.
anatomically female. So I'm not the only one who's getting these vibes from this cat, but it's been very interesting.
And some of the animals are, I mean, it's just, again, a smaller amount. Some of them are angels. And the ones like my specialty is doing spirit sessions.
Yes.
So there have been, most times the animals want to return back to their pet parent, but sometimes they tell me, I am an angel. I am needed on the other side, and I will remain on the other side, but I'm going to be able to help my pet parent from this side. So, and then I didn't even get into the book about, because we normally notice masses leaving, a certain collective of masses leaving, whether it's a collective of dogs or cats or, whatever they leave. But this year has been huge masses of animals leaving at the same time. We were hearing from all kinds of people we knew, students, friends, family, whatever, losing their animals. And it just was an enormous amount of animals. And when I tuned into the animals, they were telling me collectively that they had to leave because we needed so much on Mother Earth for the sake of humanity. They knew to create a shift that they had to leave in such huge, massive numbers than they ever have before.
Wow.
So, and then what was interesting, I started hearing from people losing family members.
Yes.
Young, all ages, some totally unexpected, and then I realized, and I get goosebumps talking about this, that they were also leaving for this shift, to just be able to have all this light, for them to come together, the human souls and the animal souls on the other side, to try and help us and awaken humanity. So it's been really beautiful to see that happen and know that the animals have given of themselves, and even these young or unexpected human souls who have left. So just really, I get serious, like tingles all over my body just thinking about this, because it has been an incredible number of souls leaving.
Exactly. I think that wave started like around 2016 or so for humans, where we had all those celebrities passing.
Oh, right.
We've had this wave happening since about 2016 up through now, and it's interesting that also happens with animals that I wasn't aware of it. So it's so interesting how the animals like almost mirror what's going on with humanity as well.
It has been interesting, and it just has seemed to I don't know, things are culminating this year in preparation for 2020.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, this Thursday is the big 12-12-12-12.
Right. Yeah.
Which is huge. I mean, there's massive energies moving for that right now, and so I'll be doing a transmission on
awesome
8 p.m. around that. So if anybody's interested in being on that particular call, all you have to do is type in your email to the chat, and I'll make sure you get the information for that. But yeah, there's some massive energies moving right now for the planet to prepare us for 2020 and beyond. So what are the messages you're getting right now from animals around this massive end of an era, end of this decade, the shift into the 2020s? Has there been any common messages you've been getting from animals just lately?
And I think the timing of this book, really my book I wasn't planning for it to come out until I originally 2020. I mean, 2020 was my original target date, but then it was everything fell into place.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, it's supposed to come out right now. And so the overall message has been that it is now the time for people to awaken who haven't really been awakened, and for those who already have started that process and maybe they've been on it for years. Now it's time to expand it. Just go forward, embrace it, and just seek what you're drawn to. But just now is the time to push all of that forward and learn and just soak it in, because it has so much to do with the individual's future, for each person's future. But it's creating that ripple effect, though, that's going to affect the whole world. So, and beyond, so yeah, that's really kind of been the message from the animals, and that it's time, for people to truly fully awaken to their capacity, because it's so much needed. It's so much needed, and it's culminating in this year, so that 2020 can just just be the start, I don't say of a new future for everyone.
Right, exactly. Well, it's interesting that that's the message you're getting from the animals and what this book is bringing forward, because that's exactly the message that is coming forward from, everyone through my meditations and through what other spiritual intuitives are also getting. It's like, it's that same message that we have to release the past. We have to be done with this cycle. And now it's time for us to shed who we thought we were. We need to shed who, all of the lies, the illusions, who people said we were, and really step into who am I really, asking that question, and that place of authenticity, that place of, living the true higher purpose for people, which requires awakening. And of course, Jupiter has been very big in the astrology, so that means that, it's the planet of expansion. So I know that expansion is a big.
That's beautiful.
Now, so it sounds like the animals and the humans are very much mirroring each other.
Yeah.
Same wisdom coming through, whether it's from animals or from, whatever other way you tune in. It's so beautiful to see that beautiful harmony happening.
It really is.
Whether you receive it from an animal or whether you receive it from an angel, or however you connect with spirit, it's all really the same wisdom coming, which is beautiful.
It is.
So we're getting it from all directions, including our beautiful loving animals.
Yes.
So Kim, if somebody wants to work with you or take classes with you, or how would they do? How would they contact you? Would they just go to thesoulwatchers.com and then connect from there?
Yeah, absolutely. If they go to thesoulwatchers.com, and that actually takes you to the book webpage that's on our website, which is thelightfootway.com. So you're there. But yeah, there's so many different ways to learn, and we actually are working on, for early 2020, just a brand new website. The Lightfoot Way's website.
Yes.
To just make it more easier to read and to get around, on the website, to understand our offerings, that kind of thing. But we offer in-person classes, and we also offer a lot of distance learning, because so many can't come to us. There's so many ways that people can learn from the comfort of their home.
Exactly, like this Zoom call. From wherever. Yeah. I didn't have to go all the way to Montana just to interview.
That's right, or Texas. That's right.
Well, is there any other wisdom you want to share with people about the book, about the work you do? Any wisdom that you feel, the animals want to speak through you right now that you would like to share?
It's one, I won't say quote, but I guess the animals gave it to me years ago. I don't even know how long ago, collectively, but it's just that animals are a window to our soul and a doorway to our spiritual destiny. And if you let them into your life and allow them to teach you, you'll be for it. And so that's just a message they just want everyone to know, that they just can help people on far deeper levels than what most people realize. So they're beautiful beings, just that want to help us on our journey in life in so many ways.
Oh, how beautiful. This makes people who think they're alone, all they have to do is go and rescue an animal, and
Mm-hmm.
then there they have a beautiful companion that can assist them on the journey. Oh,
Right. And to know that the bird in the backyard is also trying to reach you, or, you know, a one that might fly by your vehicle, you know, or the spider that comes near you.
yes.
You just never know. The animal constantly trying to reach us, and a lot of people aren't aware of even the wild animals that are.
Exactly. Well, I have a friend, she always has vultures that show up for her.
Oh, neat.
She loves vultures, such a powerful bird. And
They really are. They're often about changes, you know, changes to come.
exactly.
You know,
Which is perfect given what's going on in her life. So it's just amazing that
oh, that's neat.
everywhere. Just like, Linda, one literally just flew right over my car. Or I
Oh, wow.
parked and there was one like just 10 feet away from me. It's like,
that's really cool.
Connect and notice, you know, what are the beautiful animals around you right now? What are the messages that they're attempting to impart to your soul, to your heart, to your spirit in this moment? Maybe just as you walk through a park, or as you hike, or as you're out in nature, they're there to share some of their wisdom with you if you're willing. So
Yeah.
that's beautiful. Well, I'm so happy, Kim, that you have put this book out on behalf of all the beautiful animal collective that is in the world and on the other side as well, to assist us in this beautiful journey we're on as a humanity to awaken, to truly awaken to our higher truth. So thank you for the service of our hearts and the service of all the animals that you've ever worked with and that anyone owns or has, because we just want to honor these beautiful souls today and say thank you for all the work they have done for humanity, for all of us who sleep, who are clueless, who are struggling. You know, I'm sure they sometimes look at us like, oh, those humans.
Thank goodness they don't really judge us quite like humans judge each other. Right?
Exactly. Well, I know we're a little over the hour, but I wanted to make sure that if anybody else had any questions, or if anybody had something that they wanted to either ask on the chat, or if they wanted to just unmute themselves, just click on that little icon of the little microphone, it'll unmute you. So if you do have a question for Kim or for myself, then please do so. Either type it into the chat or unmute yourself and we can hear your voice. So if there's anybody here that wants to ask a question of Kim or anything about animals, I think most of
a lot. So
we covered a lot. We covered some major topics that I knew my clients would be very interested in. Well, I just want to thank you so much, Kim. It is just so beautiful to have you on this call. I love the journey that we've been on and how we came back around. And
I know. Thank you.
On this beautiful new book. I know it's going to be a blessing to so many people, and I just know that it's really going to start bringing the voice of animals more into the world just by having this book out there, so that people realize, wow, there's so many ways we can be supported, so many ways we can be taught, so many ways we can heal, and that includes even our beautiful animal and fur babies out there in the world.
That's right. All animals, all kinds, big and small. So
well,
thank you, Linda, for having me. I really appreciate it. Thank you for all that you do. So.
You're welcome. Thank you. Wow. Well, thank you to all the beautiful people that call and to all those that watch this video later. I'm going to be posting it on my YouTube, and I'll send Kim the link so that if you are one of her clients, she can send that link on to you if you want to send it off and as a replay. Is there anything, Kim, coming up in the new year that you want to invite people to?
I'm going to be doing some local classes here in Livingston, and but we do have an animal communication teleclass coming up on January 19th. We just came up with the date, so I have to actually get it on the website, but people will be able to register for that. Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. So if people are wanting to learn how to communicate more clearly with animals, they're open to that gift. That's
right. It's literally a one-day teleclass that we've taught for, I mean, it's the same class we've taught for all these years.
Oh, beautiful.
But we've been doing it by teleclass for probably 7 years or so.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
my
9 to 6. It's a full day, and you'll be talking to animals.
Oh my God, wonderful. Oh my gosh, that sounds like a lot of fun.
It is.
Wonderful. Well, if y'all would like to learn more about Kim, you go to thesoulwatchers.com. Definitely get this book. It really has some beautiful, powerful energy in it. I feel like so many animals and their energies have blessed this book, and they're just here to assist us. And if those of you who are wanting to learn more about me, lindagalvan.com, I'll just type it into the chat. You go there, or you can just contact me directly. I am a big texter, so I'm actually going to look there. So if you want to text me, I actually am starting a mentorship program, Evergreen program, so anybody who wants to mentor to open their gifts. So whatever your gifts are intuitively, doesn't matter what those are, if you are ready to open those gifts and you want to be mentored on that journey. And I actually mentor people also who are in the process of awakening to connecting with animals. And then I send them to people like you for further, dive, some more specifics. But for those that are thinking, oh, I think I've got some gifts, I really want to expand them, or I feel like I have some stuckness around opening to my gifts at a bigger, more expanded way, or I've got patterns that keep getting in the way of me stepping into my authentic self, you can always contact me, and we can have a chat about the different things I offer as well. All right. Well, thank you, Kim. You have a beautiful, amazing day, and happy.
You too, Linda. Thank you.
Portal. And happy New Year. Happy holidays to everybody. And hopefully we will connect and do this again soon. Goodbye.
Bye. Love and light.
Love and light to everybody.